And welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today, guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of Cardano, taking a look at what's been going on most recently, what I think is likely to happen next, and all that wonderful stuff. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you have not yet joined us in Discord, guys, you are missing a trick. Check it out, linked in the description down below. It is the first place we go to notify you the ins and the outs of everything that is happening here in the crypto space. So stay up to date by joining us down in Discord. In this video, I will be covering Elliott wave theory. It's a reasonably complex subject, but pretty simple to understand when you know what you're looking for. If you are a little bit confused by anything in this video, why not check out cheekyschool.com, linked in the description below. I have put together a 21-part video course there, where you can basically learn Elliott wave theory and follow along with these videos in a lot more detail. There is a 181-page PDF covering Elliott wave theory in a lot more detail than I do cover in the course. The course kind of strips out a lot of the noise, but if you are looking for a lot more detail and have the patience to read through 181 pages, there is a PDF available in our Discord server that explains everything as well. Okay, let's make a start. Cardano paired up with USDT on the hourly chart, and Binance is the data source. Now, initially last night, I still thought we had a little bit more room to the downside. I think we may have finally hit bottom here on this fifth wave. So let's walk you through what this looks like. So we came down into this low point down here, and it looked like we should be coming down in some kind of diagonal, but we did cross higher than this wave 2 peak, and we haven't crossed the wave 1 origin or anything like that, but I do think that inside here we can now say safely that we've kind of come down into our fifth wave target range, which was between 23.49 and 24.46, and we can mark it off as complete. Of course, that's one scenario. The other scenario is that this is a leading diagonal, and this little area here was just a wave 1, meaning we've got to come down into a wave 3 after completing this wave 2, and then a wave 4, then a wave 5, and it can drag out a little bit longer. Okay, so there's a couple of things that we're going to have to look out for to ascertain whether or not we are, bullish enough to be, coming out of this or not. And there's a few things that I think are going on here that might help us. So let's focus in on this recent move. So let's assume, to start with, that we might be done down here. How would we ascertain that we are done with those lows? Well, the first thing that we're looking for is a peak above this level here of 24.67. Anything higher than 24.67, I'm pretty confident in saying we're done with that particular structure and we're doing something different. Taking a look at the substructure here for Cardano, if I go ahead and pull in a fib, move this over to our lows just here, we crossed the 1.618, and it does look like we are doing 5 waves up. 1, 2, and I think we're up here. Yeah, here. I'm going to go 3, down here for 4, and then we've got to go up into 5. Now, this is important because this should cross higher than our 24.67, so it will confirm that we're moving on out. Okay, our targeted range is quite simply just between the areas here as marked at 24.69 to 24.77. Okay, so that's going to be our targeted range for this fifth wave. Once complete, I would expect 3 waves down. Okay, we may come back into our yellow box. This is going to be the opportunity. Okay, and then from here, we'll have another 5 waves to the upside. Okay, now this can be a couple of different things on Elliott wave theory. We have a zigzag pattern, which is what I've drawn here. Okay, this is basically just going to be an A, B, and C structure like that. Looks like a zigzag. Alternatively, we end up going really impulsive. Something like this, right? And we hit a 1.618 on a higher scale. So if I grab hold of this area here, for example, we move this over to this 3-wave move, we can see that this next 3-wave structure, for example, might go up and hit higher than this 25.38 area approximately. Of course, this is depending on how low we go in that next section. This will allow us to obviously then look at this not as an ABC structure, but instead as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 structure to the upside. And again, of course, we can't see 5 waves on their own, so we would expect to see this then correct down and have another 5 waves afterwards. Okay, so there's lots of couple of things to kind of be thinking about. Those are the bullish ones, right? Those are the ones that I think are the ones that are playing out. Alternatively, of course, as I said, we are in an ending diagonal structure. Now, an ending diagonal structure to the downside downside would look more like this. We'd have an A, B, C structure down. Okay, we'd have an A, B, C structure to the upside, and we'd be looking for an A, B, C structure to come on down. Now, obviously, this would have to come down quite a bit because we should come down lower than our wave 1. We'll then have an A, B, C structure coming up, crossing over and having lots of overlap, and then we'll finish it off with another 5-wave structure coming down, okay? Now, this particular move, what I don't like about it, and the reason I don't think this is what's playing out, is that this is too high. Normally, you don't have it like this. Now, it could be an expanding diagonal. That's possible. An expanding diagonal's also got a common name called a megaphone pattern. Now, this essentially, if I draw it in here, would look something like this, right? It just basically expands out, and you'd have this as a wave 5 being your longest wave. Wave 2 is a bit unusual with the way that it's moving, but wave 3 would be down here. You'd have your wave 4 kind of coming all the way back up again, pretty high, not all the way to the top though. But it would be pretty high. And then you'd have this kind of wave 5 like really coming down deep like this, right? And potentially coming down out lower than 23.49. And overall, it would look like this. You'd have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of structure. But I don't think that's what's going to play out. I could be wrong. It could be what's going on here. I just think that actually what we want to do is actually start to see this move to the upside and to break out of its structure of this downside. Okay, and this 5th wave movement up towards our 24.69 to 24.77 would confirm that in my head, and we can start talking about the reversal. The stochastic RSI on our hourly chart is in a good spot. The 4-hour chart is actually overbought though, so that's where I think that 3-wave corrective structure will come in. The daily and the 8-hour, yeah, we probably need to address those. Let's take a look, right? So on our 8-hour chart, we're just coming up, so that's okay. That's not too bad. 12-hour still oversold. 16 hours oversold, 20 hours oversold. Daily chart is, yeah, it's not perfect by any stretch, but it has got an interesting position. So we could go down, we could go up. It's not really conclusive. The momentum is the momentum there. It had some, and it's corrected down a little bit. So this is actually reasonably positive. If we rally up on the smaller time frames and our daily moves slowly, that's not too bad. We can deal with that. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how it plays out. My hope here is that we do break out above 24.67 in doing so, and then aiming for the 24.69 minimum threshold. If we hit those things, then I think we're in a reasonably good position. On Cardano, we would look for a small move to the downside potentially here before taking advantage of the next kind of major move to the upside. So yeah, I think, yeah, it's in a reasonable position. Still holding the long, although it is down, I think 30-something% at this point. So there's a long way for me to go to the long side to kind of take to kind of come even, I guess, or things like that, or take a small loss. But I do think there's a lot of opportunity here for a lot of people to start thinking about those longs on Cardano. But again, you know, we'll let the TA decide what that looks like, whether or not we're going to have a good move to the upside or not. And you know, we are now using. Well, I'm going to be drawing up the charts and keeping everything up to date in a Discord server for our Patreon members, and obviously the AI is going to read my charts and also come up with some trading ideas on Cardano, so we'll keep an eye on that. For anyone who doesn't know, join the Patreon. Basically, I've been messing around with artificial intelligence and basically, yeah, getting it to kind of read my TA and then come up with trading ideas on the back of it. So, yeah. All good stuff happening here at Cheeky Crypto for the Patreon members in a Discord server on that front. But again, guys, I'm going to leave this video there. If you found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate it. And if you are new, subscribe. Tap the bell, select all the notifications, and you'll stay up to date with all the videos that we do. Join us in Discord. As I said, it's the first place that we go to notify you of the ins and outs of everything that is going on in the crypto space. If you haven't joined the Patreon areas yet, link for Patreon is down below. As I said, we've kind of now got some really interesting updates for the trader tier. So if you're into trading and you kind of like Elliott wave theory but don't fully understand how to kind of implement it yourself. There are going to be some trading ideas based on the TA that Festoon and myself draw up in our Discord server, and it will basically give you kind of a lot of the kind of information that the charts are basically providing without a lot of the noise. So it's really, really quite helpful. So yeah, check that out. Linked in the description below. If you're looking for more on the Elliott Wave theory, cheekyschool.com, also below. And guys, until the next one, have a fantastic day.